Hey guys, zpolt here and I'm back for another video, and today we're gonna do another Earphone Awards, now mid 2019. So I did this Earphone Awards last December, and now I think it's time to update it because I reviewed a lot of IEMs already, especially in the $50 range. So again, we're gonna award IEMs for each category, and also I will give the top 5 recommendations here in the channel as well in the $50 range. So we're focusing on the $50 range for this Earphone Awards. I'm gonna do another one for the $20 range. Okay, so let's first start with the best soundstage. So still the best soundstage is the TFZ S2. It still has the most expansive soundstage here. Even after I listened to other $50 IEMs here, the S2 still, even if it's old, it still has the biggest soundstage for me. So if you want soundstage, definitely the S2 is something that you should consider. Next is the best in imaging. So I gave this award to the TINAUDIO T2 Pro, and now I'm gonna give it to the TINAUDIO T3. So I would say that they're not far off, they're in the same range, but I would give the award now to the T3. Definitely superior imaging, the best imaging that I've heard, especially in that $50 price range. So if you're into that, if you're into accuracy of positioning, T3 is something that you should consider. Next is the best for audio engineers or best for neutrality, and I would give that now to the TINAUDIO T3. So as I mentioned, it's not the, the flattest IEM that I've heard, but definitely in that $50 range, it is the closest that I've heard for somebody who's into audio engineering and also neutrality. The TINAUDIO T3 is something that you can consider. So for me, if I'm gonna go for a mixing session or maybe a recording session, definitely I would go for the TIN T3 across all the IEMs that I have if I'm gonna target that $50 range. Next is the best for bass heads. So the best for bass heads is the VJJB N30. So I already did a full bass heads comparison, bass heads IEM comparison, and the N30 just came out on top. Of course, the OM1 is a close second to the N30, but the N30 just has better highs for me, better tuned across the range. So for bass heads, I would suggest VJJB N30 is the current winner for bass heads. Next is the best for fun listening. It is the TFZ T2. You guys know I'm a fan of TFZ T2. For me, for a casual listen, for a fun listen, I would choose the TFZ T2 if I'm gonna bring it in my bag. Next is the best for relaxed listening. So this is a new category here. I would give that to the CCA C10. So the C10 is again very good mids, relaxed sound across the range, not too aggressive sound. It's something that you can listen to for a long listening session without any problems. CCA C10, best for relaxed listening. Next is the best rich sounding IEM, and I would give that to the TFZ T2 again. So T2 has graphene drivers there, really rich sound across the range, meaty mids, just meaty sound across the range. So best rich sound, TFZ T2. Next is the best value for money, and I would give that to the ZS10 Pro. So the ZS10 Pro is just around $35 around this, so it is well under $50, but it is really competing with the top guns here in this channel. So for me, best value for money, ZS10 Pro. Next is the best built IEM, and I would give that to the TINAUDIO T3. So the TINAUDIO T3, a gunmetal look. The cable is just really nice, 8-core cable for that kind of price. Really well built. TINAUDIO T3 is really built like a tank. So best built, TINAUDIO T3. Next is the best in punch IEM, and I would give that to the KBEAR OPAL. So the KBEAR OPAL is really punchy. If you're into the most punch in your life, especially bass punch, KBEAR OPAL is something that you can consider. Next is best clarity IEM, and I would give that to the TINAUDIO T3. Definitely one of the best highs that I've heard. The T3 now takes the crown in the best highs in the price range. Next is the best mids. So you guys know I love my mids, and I would give that still to the TFZ T2. T2 just has very rich sound, very good mids, and just good sound in the mids department. Okay, so next is the top 5 recommendation here in this channel finally. So number 5, I would give it to the TINAUDIO T2 Pro. So last year when I reviewed it, I really found the imaging to be really great, and also the sound and just the relaxed nature of the sound. I really like that in the TINAUDIO T2 Pro. So still number 5 here in the top 5 recommendations here in this channel. Number 4 for me is the TFZ S2. So still, even if the TFZ S2 is already old here, it's still one of my top recommendations. I still like the TFZ S2. Still has good mids here, big sound stage, enough bass to throw around, and also great highs up there. So just great sound for me across the range. For a casual listen, there's always something that I can pick up. TFZ S2 I think now is already $38. I think it's more cheaper now, $30. So definitely in terms of value, it's also increasing now because it's getting cheaper. So TFZ S2 still number 4 here in this channel. Now number 3 up in our list is the first KZ that I'm gonna recommend in a top 5 recommendation. This is now the KZ ZS10 Pro. So as I mentioned in my previous review of the ZS10 Pro, I do prefer the ZS10 Pro slightly over the TFZ S2, especially because of that detail retrieval and also the mids department here in the ZS10 Pro. Still a casual, relaxed listen in the ZS10 Pro, but a notch up in terms of detail retrieval in the ZS10 Pro. Still also a big stage in the ZS10 Pro, a touch of warmth in the Pros, but I would say the best KZ that I've heard, especially in the price range. So nice job here by KZ. Now number 3, KZ ZS10 Pro. Now moving up to number 2. So there's a new player here in town, another TINAUDIO. This is the TINAUDIO T3. So TINAUDIO T3 again blew my mind when I reviewed it. Very good build, very good package, 8-core cable, gunmetal look, and of course that sound neutrality. It has that liveliness to it. And that highs, that very nice highs there in the TINAUDIO T3, and also substantial bass to throw around here. So even if it's close to neutral in terms of presentation, it's still an enjoyable listen for me. So if I'm gonna go out and go for a recording session or mixing session, if I'm gonna bring an IEM in the $50 range, I would definitely go for the TINAUDIO T3. I would say that this is one of the most versatile IEMs because you can also again use it for casual listening here in the T3 because it's still an enjoyable listen. So T3 definitely a worthy competitor. It is number 2 in our list. Now going to number 1. So we still have the number 1 TFZ T2, of course. That is the favorite still here in this channel. So just rich sound across the range. Definitely a colored sound, but for a casual listen, it's something that will really please you. Enough bass to throw around, good detail in the mids department, of course, highs, good detail as well. Good stage, good looks, overall package, nice fit in the ear. Good cable, so just a good package across the range here. So definitely if I'm gonna pick one up for a casual listen, TFZ T2 is something that I'm gonna pick up. Definitely, I really like the sound there. TFZ T2 is something that when you listen to, it's very hard to forget, for me at the least. Number 1 still TFZ T2. Some runner-ups here. Number 6 is the CCA C10. So the CCA C10 is my top recommendation, under $30. So it's definitely in the cheaper side in terms of the price range. But the CCA C10, relaxed sounding, above average stage, good mids also in the CCA, and of course 10 drivers also here. So good detail across the range. So definitely CCA. If you are in a tighter budget, it's something that you can pick up. It's my top recommendation under $30. So it's my number 6 here, or runner-up here in the channel. Number 7 is the YINYOO V2. It grew to one of my favorites in the price range. Definitely good build here, nice sound, more geared toward a balanced sound here in the YINYOO V2. So it's something that you can listen to for a long period of time, but definitely good package overall as well in the YINYOO V2, and it's also in the $30 range. It's in the cheaper side as well. So I would say good pickup also in the YINYOO V2. Okay, so that is my top 5 recommendations in mid-2019 for the sub $50 IEMs. Of course, just a disclaimer, this is my personal list. If I'm gonna personally choose, this will be my choice, but of course it will be up to you what you like in the end. But hopefully this list help you decide in any way. Of course, in the end, it will be better if you have a listen to any of these to make sure that each IEM is for you. But again, hopefully this list helped you in any way. If it did, leave a like, and of course subscribe for more content like this in the future. And do you have other suggestions, IEM suggestions for me to include in this list? And also, what do you think of this list as well? If you are into IEMs as well, if you like to suggest other IEMs in some categories to the viewers here in zpolt Labs, just comment down below. And of course, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.